Hey everyone, this is Kenji, and today we're gonna make baba ganoush. So the other day I was grilling some stuff, and the coals are going out. And what I do usually when that happens is I take an eggplant and I throw it on the dying coals. Is the best way I know to cook an eggplant. So I just happened to have this eggplant that I had done that way, sitting in my fridge. It was from a couple days ago. If you don't, you can honestly cook your eggplant any way you want. It'll still be delicious. It'll make great baba ganoush. You can, poke a few holes in it, put it under the broiler in the oven. You could do it directly on the grill, or you can do it the way I did it, which is in hot out in the the dying heat of a grill that has just been used. The other way you could do it is take it and put it directly over a burner on your stove and kind of turn it every once in a while until it blackens all over. But either way, you want it to be cooked until it's completely soft. On a dying grill, that means what I do is I just put it on there and I just let it sit until the fire is completely cold with the lid on. And then it gets nice and smoky. As for what type of eggplant, people say that eggplants have sex, like male or female. They don't really. Although generally you can tell how many seeds an eggplant is going to have by the shape of the dimple in the bottom. So like a more kind of slot-shaped dimple is going to give you more seeds generally, but that's not really always true. Generally, also a lighter eggplant is going to give you fewer seeds than a denser eggplant, which is going to have more seeds. But the problem with the lighter eggplant is that it's usually harder to cook as well. So honestly, I really don't pay attention to the sex of the eggplant or the so-called sex of the eggplant when I buy them. I just buy, what I tend to buy is I buy Japanese or Italian eggplants, which are smaller and usually have fewer seeds than the American, big globe eggplants. And the seeds that they do have tend to be a little bit more tender and easy. This one has quite a few seeds. So if it's got a ton of seeds like that, you can kind of pull those seed pods out with your fingers. It's no big deal if some of them stay in there, though. They tend to have like a kind of sharp flavor to them, like a kind of spiciness to them, almost like an astringency, like what good olive oil has. So honestly, it's not that bad to have in there. Like it just makes it taste like you've got extra good olive oil in there. But it can be a sort of textural issue, I think. So you can remove a portion of them. All right, eggplant. Actually, so you know what? Normally, I would, if I had just taken this off the grill or just finished cooking it, I would drain it. What I would do is I would put it in a salad spinner and spin it around. But since this has been sitting in the fridge for a few days, you can see like all that excess liquid already came off of it. So it feels like it's actually relatively dry already, so I don't really need to strain this one. If it's too wet, it can just make your baba ganoush kind of runny, which you don't want. Well, I don't want. Maybe you like your baba ganoush runny. You could like all kinds of things I don't like. And you're wrong about all of them. All right. So I let this eggplant, I let it go on a flame, on a dying grill, so it got really nice and dark. If you like your eggplant, if you like your baba ganoush to be kind of pure, much whiter than that, you can don't cook it as much. But I kind of like the flavor that letting it cook down a long time gets you. I don't need the strainer anymore. All right, so now the real trick to baba ganoush is to not think of it as a sort of pureed dip, but to think of it as an emulsified sauce, kind of like a mayonnaise. So we got our eggplant here. We're going to whisk a bunch of things into it, but first I'm going to start by pounding a little garlic in here. Put them in with their skins, and then you can give them a little pound and the skin should come right off. If you want, you can cut off that little bottom bit. I don't necessarily always do that, even though I probably should. If you want, you can also take out the little green sprouty part on the inside if your garlic is starting to sprout, but again, I don't necessarily do that, even though I probably should. Garlic police, are you out there? I know you're coming to get me. A couple days ago it was the onion police, because I apparently wasted too much of the bottom of my onion. All right, so now the trick with mashing garlic is that if you want a lot of garlic flavor, but not quite so much crazy garlic heat, is to mash it with some lemon juice, because acidity will actually hinder the formation of allicin, which is the the chemical compound that is formed when you crush garlic that gives it its pungency. So as long as it's in an acidic environment while you're crushing it, garlic will have a much sort of tamer flavor. There was a pinch of kosher salt I put in there as well. Put a little bit too much lemon juice in there. If I put in a little bit less, it would have been easier to pound this, but it's coming together anyway. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start drizzling in a little bit of olive oil. This, by the way, is like the way you would make an alioli. Drizzling in that olive oil is just going to help me get that garlic to a really nice smooth paste before I add it to my eggplant. Or I guess if we're going to stay in the Middle East, that's how you would make toum, like white garlic sauce. All right, that's about as fine as I need it. Alright, so we take our eggplant, lemon seed, squeeze a lemon over it. Get the seeds out. Shelby, you gonna eat that lemon seed? Alright. Now, get our garlic paste in there. Now the next ingredient is tahini. I don't have tahini today, so I'm just using this Chinese sesame paste. So this is like a dark sesame paste, so it's a little, the flavor is going to be a little bit roastier than a traditional tahini, but I think it's still going to be good. So I do like, that was probably like 6 ounces of eggplant, roasted eggplant flesh, and then a few cloves of garlic, a couple tablespoons, about a tablespoon of tahini. Or in this case, sesame paste. Now we're just going to start whisk, whisk, whisk. I use a fork. So if you want really smooth baba ganoush, of course, you can do it in a food processor. But I like mine kind of chunky, so I'm just going to let it go with the fork, and it's going to get creamy, creamy, creamy. And then what we're going to do is we're going to treat it the way we would a mayonnaise, just like emulsify olive oil into there. Take this little pour spout off. So you can get a little more aggressive with the amount of oil we add. Actually, that bowl's a tad bit, just a smidge too big for this. It's giving me a little trouble, so. There we go. Oh, so I have this set in this towel set over a saucepan because that keeps it stable. So you can choose how much olive oil you want in this. I mean, of course, you can choose how much of everything you want in this. If you want to add, some people like to add ground cumin in here. I do that sometimes, not today. You can add ground cumin if you'd like. You can add more or less lemon, more or less garlic. I tend to try and I treat it kind of like a mayonnaise, and I add olive oil until it feels like it can't take any more. And you'll be surprised at how much olive oil it can take. So for that amount, 6 ounces of eggplant, I can probably end up using about 6 ounces of olive oil. And sort of the more you use, the sort of creamier it becomes. and the more olive oily its flavor becomes. The thing is, it's not going to be greasy because you're emulsifying. Adding it just a little at a time, and then beat it. Let's see how that tastes. That is delicious. I think I could use just a touch more olive oil. And probably another little hit of lemon. So eggplant, even if you don't do it on the grill, it has this kind of natural smokiness to it. Natural smokiness and meatiness to it, which I find lovely. Definitely needs more salt also. That's probably about the upper limit of the amount of olive oil it can take. All right. So you see how nice and creamy it's become. All right, let me get a plate to put that in. That's a salad. I'm also making some fattoush. That's a good one. This bowl needs to be re-oiled. Actually, maybe the olive oil will take care of that. Yummy. This whole way. Little well for some extra olive oil in there. And this is parsley. Yes, it has been washed. Actually, that's about all I need. There you go. I think this is beautiful. Let me get a little bread to taste it with. I've been dipping into some labneh with this bread. I don't know which video is going to go up first, so you might know where this bread comes from. Oh, got a little extra piece for Shop because I know she's going to want it. A little cone. Smoky and creamy. Nice and acidic and bright. This is good stuff. And it's vegan. All right, sit down, Shabu. Need a little olive oil too. Ooh. Shabu, look. Shabu, look. There you go. Here you go, Hamon. Good boy. That's a nice gentle take. All right. See you later.